If this stimulates you, then check out part 1 right underneath or before this video and the rest of them. All right, look. So with teaching my son how to tie his shoes, okay? So when he was younger, teaching him how to tie his shoes, trying to teach him the way that I was taught, the way that most people are taught. So you can say the conventional, traditional way of doing it. And then what I told him was, I was like, you know what? Just tie the shoes, figure out how to get your shoes tied. The whole point is, the whole goal is to make sure your shoes are tied and they don't come loose so you can't trip over your feet and things like that, right? And then that it looks uniform, that your shoes are tied. You know what I mean? That's the point. All right. And so I just had him do that, and he learned how to tie his shoes his own way, and he ties his shoes more securely than I tie my shoes and most other people. My shoestrings come loose way more than his. All right, so that was a way of teaching him. You know what I mean? How even subconsciously, but I also walk him through. I talk him through, how, why you may be doing something the way you're doing it. And I always try to give him, all my children, perspective. Okay, I try to give everybody perspective, right? And so um he understood that at that point, that there's many different ways that you may be able to do something, but don't restrict yourself, don't encage your mind, don't shut yourself down by thinking you have to accomplish something the way that everybody else does it. You know what I mean? It's not to say that you can't learn that technique, the traditional common way of tying your shoes, but you may end up coming up like he did with your own original way of tying your shoes, and it might be just as good or better. You see what I'm saying? And then you can teach other people how you tie your shoes the way you tie your shoes, and it's a alternative way of tying your shoes. Make sense? Um, so what happens is, like I was saying, if you don't allow yourself to do stuff like that, then you'll never know there's other ways of doing things and accomplishing stuff. And that's just one aspect of it. There's many layers though. Like I said, subconsciously and things like that. It restores that independence and that assurance and that confidence. Okay, that you don't always need something or somebody else outside yourself, other than the Most High and nature and the ways that the Most High communicate and teach you, and to be able to go directly to the source to learn how to do something the way that is most convenient and best for you. That was a problem with a lot of you guys. You're really smart, but you're under the wrong